Hey everybody, how we doing? Welcome out to the farm. Hope everybody's having a good night. It's like 10:45 right now, but I was determined to get this project done because it's supposed to get cold again tomorrow, and it was kind of nice and warm tonight. Not raining or anything. But anyways, I want to get this project done. This will be part two of a video I haven't actually posted yet, but I'll post the first part of this, and then this will be the second one. So the tack room, what we call this, is the big barn here. This is kind of like the original barn before we built a bunch of those smaller ones across the road. Oh, geez, that's bright. So anyways, we have a tack room in this barn. We have a tack room in the lower barn, and then we have a little tack area up top of the hill where we keep our family horses. So I'm going to flip you around here. The part one video was kind of before we demoed it. We cleared all the tack out. For those of you who don't know what tack is, it's just the saddles and bridles and halters and basically gear for horses is what it is. So anyways, this is the finished product here. So the big changes, we took all of the old, they would have been like horizontal saddle racks out that kind of ran around. They were kind of went the whole way around the wall. Took all those out. The first thing we did was put in a new subfloor because right there was a giant hole and you could see all the way down to the basement where we feed the horses at. Also right here, there were a couple big pieces of Resilite, which are an old fiberglass roofing that nobody really uses anymore. But I found out today from my mom that my grandpa knew a guy who worked at the Resilite factory. That's why we have so much Resilite everywhere. We've pretty much gotten rid of most of it because it does start to kind of like dry rot after a while. It gets real brittle. And we have switched over to using mostly corrugated metal roofing. But let me give you a little tour here. Yeah, so those were the major changes that we did. Other than that, we just kind of gutted everything out, put a new floor in, patched that hole up with the spare wood from the floor, and obviously added the window. I'll get to that in a second. So this is the door where you come in over here. This was actually an old feed room. I love this here. I think this will be in part. I think I put this in part one. We kept that there. I actually kept this little coat rack, but there was some shelves and stuff here. We took that out. So the boarders, when they come in, if they want to hang their coat or something there. And I love to keep the nostalgia of the old barn and like obviously this was not always a tack room in here. There were like feed bins that went back along the wall here. And they would keep oats and corn and barley and all kinds of stuff like that in there. Actually, this is what one of these were, this thing right here. They would slide slats of wood down in there. And that's how they would section it off. And there was one right there on the wall. There's probably one down here. We took them all out because we don't store grain that way. Or store any feed that way. But anyways, kind of starting here on this side. Come in the door right here. And then we put in, we're calling these like cubbies or like bays. So each boarder gets one per horse. So I believe these boarders over here have, between the three of them, have 4 horses. Is that right? 3 horses between the 2 ladies. That's how it is. So they get 1 bay per horse is the way we kind of do that. And then they have some storage up top. Put some of their brush buckets and stuff. And then they like these big DeWalt containers, which are nice. And then the saddle racks. And then we put these whole hooks in here, so you can put your bridle on there. It goes up over, and then you hook your reins right there. So everybody got one of those, and then everybody got one of these metal saddle racks back in there. And then we pretty much mirrored it on this side. Same thing. So we got the hooks up here, and then saddle rack. Some people have a saddle stand like that, and then some people have nothing underneath. And some people just have a blanket. That's Tom. He's our resident horse trainer. So he trains, does a bunch of work with horses. He's really, really good. He's basically like a modern day cowboy. So if you ever want to meet a real cowboy, he's your guy. That's his spot. He's going to put a bunch of his training stuff up in here. He uses all kinds of different training devices, but he hasn't got his stuff moved in yet. So, and then back here we got Elaine, who lives right across the road. She's our renter, lives in this little house, and then her and another girl own a horse together, and that's Laura. She also has a horse down at the lower barn, so she gets 2 tack spots, one up here, one down there. And then a little bit extra space, storage space back there for extra saddle and some blankets and stuff, and then more shelf space up there. And then that's kind of the overflow. I think we don't know whose helmets those are. That's why they're there. And then extra storage space up there. So the other couple things we did, other than the floor, we added these lights Tom had his space light in here that I put in the other video. It was mounted right there. I took that out, rewired in these two, kind of spaced the lighting out, give a little bit more like full coverage in the room so people could see when they're digging around looking for something. And then eventually the plan is to, where this little junction box is right here, we're gonna, the electric comes in on this side, but I'm gonna start to section the barn off so that we can put a light switch so you won't have to go downstairs to turn the power on in the barn. You got to come through the man door right here, and there'll be a switch right here on the wall, and I'm gonna put an outlet in right down there for anybody who needs to charge a phone or a space heater or whatever else you'd need electric for in here. We never have enough outlets in the barn. There's like 2 or 3 in the entire barn that work are in like a decent location to get to. All right, and last but not least, but the best thing is the window. So I had to cut a hole in the wall. Like I said, we patched this up. There actually used to be some kind of window down here or some kind of like way to bring the feed in on like an elevator or auger is my best guess, but we patched that up. And then I put this window in. That was just some window we had upstairs. So I framed it in, put some caulking in. Some of you know that's what I used to do for a living, was actually I would do caulking on windows and panels and all kinds of stuff. Mostly like exterior stuff, but some interior. So I used my skills on that and we framed it up. I used all repurposed lumber. The only lumber we bought for this entire project was these 2x4s and the plywood on the floor. That was it. So the shelves, these shelves were repurposed lumber from around the farm. These pieces here were repurposed. Those were the old saddle racks. All the wood around the window, other than a couple pieces of 2x4, were repurposed. I love reusing that stuff because lumber is expensive. So anyway, this is getting to be a long video, but a lot to show you in here. So I'm really happy with the way this turned out. A lot more usable space. Got a nice aisleway down the middle here. It was really hard for people to get their stuff in and out before without climbing over everybody's things, and there just wasn't a lot of space. And we weren't utilizing a lot of the like shelf space, like the upper space, and now we are. So I hope the boarders like it. I think we have, we put in 8 or 9 spots. This could be converted into a spot, but it's kind of extra space right now. So we have 6 over here. Yeah, so 8 spots total. And I think there's like maybe 7 boarders. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 7 ladies have horses. And sorry, Tom. Have their horses in this barn. And then all their tack is up here. So hope you like this video. It was a lot of fun doing this. Took us about 3 nights. I'd say maybe like, I don't know, probably 6 hours or something like that to put this together. My mom helped me and Tristan, and even my 3-year-old Oliver was down here. He was maybe making more work than he was helping us, but that was good to have him down here. So, all right, hope you liked the video. See you here next time.